So Ruby completed her charge cycle normally last night, and I'm coming out here this morning to see if the, we'll just call it the problem with sound. It's not a media only problem because my proximity alerts and the turn signal are also fading in and out. But I thought I'd come out here and see how she's doing as far as the sound goes this morning. I'm not actually... So I should have been pointing over here, but very briefly it said powering up systems. That normally, I don't think that happens. I'm not used to seeing that, but here, let me put in my pen. Just get that screen out of the way. I want to note that I am on the Wi-Fi. Dawn made sure I was on the Wi-Fi, the garage Wi-Fi last night, so that's good. I also want to note that even though I'm in the garage with all the fluorescent lights on in my bay, Ruby has the lights on. I mean, I'd have to take her outside to know for sure, but it's not very sunny today. But you can see it's totally bright out there, so I'm not sure she should be having the lights on, and that did appear to be one of the symptoms yesterday. Let's go over here to the streaming music and see what's going on. And I'm just going to pick a station. I think that's the last one Johnny picked, so let me pick a different one. And I had the volume all the way down, so I've now used my finger on the steering wheel to put it up to a 3. And you can kind of see here that it stopped trying to do anything, but it did not put up the music. And I am totally on the garage Wi-Fi. Now I've got a loading error. So this is not normal behavior. This is exactly what it was doing last night. It would never load, or if it finally did load something, it would play for like 5 seconds, stop for 10 seconds, play for 5 seconds. Sometimes it would stutter the song like it was a record needle stuck in place. So it just would not play properly. Yeah, this is not what it's supposed to be doing. And I had the same trouble with the radio, and I had trouble with Bluetooth from my phone, and I'm guessing if we go to the web browser, which I did not try yesterday, but I'm guessing that is pretty much a total no-go. This is my photo website. But again, I'm on the Wi-Fi now. This is not a LTE issue. This is not, here, let's just try. We'll come up and just go back and see if I can even just draw the thumbnails on my home page. Yeah, that was the music coming on. You have to keep the sound down because it's doing so much funky stuff you can't. It drives you nuts fading in and out while you're driving right now. You have to keep it on the sound all the way down because it comes and goes. I'll go back over there in a minute if by chance it's playing. Yeah, so it's not even trying to draw the web page. It's not doing anything. Well, I messed that up there. It appears to me from what I can see. All right, there we go. We're going to draw my web page. It wouldn't surprise me if it tries a little bit and stops and tries a little bit more, kind of like the music, but I don't know. I'm just guessing here. Yeah, I mean, considering I'm on the Wi-Fi, you would think that the web page would draw pretty quick because I've got full Wi-Fi signal right now. I'm still thinking on it. That is a pretty heavy, intensive web page with lots of pictures. I mean, I can see where it takes a little bit to draw that. But on the Wi-Fi, you know, I expect that out on LTE 2 bars. I don't expect that on the Wi-Fi. And then over here on the music, you can see it's not even on the song anymore. Although it may come back. You know, sometimes it pops back up and it plays for 3 seconds and then it goes back away again. So I'm really sad this morning. You know, here's my webpage. I'm supposed to make a trip into Greensboro tomorrow in the car. And I am not going to have the sound system. And really it's more than that, because the proximity alert noises are fading in and out. So you could be near something and she's trying to alert you, but you have to rely on the visual. Same thing with the turn signal. At least with the turn signal, I fully believe the actual light is flashing, but I just can't always hear that the turn signal engaged even after I pressed it. So it's a little more than just an annoyance of the media system. It's also a little bit of a safety thing. All right, so the web browser is at least working. So I don't know. I did not hear back from Tesla yesterday, but that email was sent off late in the afternoon. It wasn't a critical problem. And I'm just going to send an update this morning. Also, one last thing. When I drove yesterday to pick up Johnny, those drives were not recorded in TeslaFi. So it does really seemingly appear that something weird is going on with the car as far as talking or sending signals or receiving signals. I think Don said he's probably going to come out later on and pop off the 12-volt battery cover in the frunk and just see if he sees anything that could be loose that could be causing it. I really don't know. When we went out to the car for the first time yesterday and we saw that service mode speed limited picture, I really don't know if the sound system if these problems existed then or not, because we weren't in the car for a very few seconds. I mean, she looked normal, but we don't know. So I don't know if it was like that before the 12 volt or if it happened after the 12 volt replacement. We don't know. You know, I did PDPSI for IBM, problem, defect, problem source identification. I mean, that was basically my whole career over there, was narrowing problems down for customers, helping customers gather problem data, diagnostic data, coming up with what diagnostic data we needed, reviewing the diagnostic data when we got it in. I mean, that was most of my career was spent doing that. So I, you know, think I can kind of approach it from an angle of understanding, you know, what the problem is and what's going on with it, and talk fairly articulately about what's going on with the car. Wish I could just fix it now. Just want to be able to fix it. You know, at IBM, after I had all that stuff, then I could take it one next step and fix it, or find the right person to fix it. We have friends visiting this morning, and Tesla friends, well, what do they do when they show up? They charge, just for the fun of it, whether they need charge or not. We thought we'd let Sapphire's Bay get a little activity this morning. Tux has done it again. He is over here at the front door. Johnny's gonna walk him around and take him back to his side of the house. He'd be allowed up here, except that he isn't nice to Panther. So for the safety of all involved. And here's Panther on his heating pad. He's all comfy. And if Tux just stays by the door, that's good, but sometimes he gets in front of Panther's chair and tries to make Panther leave. And Panther's not looking for any trouble. It's all on Tux.
Hi, sweethearts. I'm glad to see that you're staying warm and you're snuggled. You look comfy.
Yeah, some of you may not have been here with us long enough to know that Dawn built this platform for me and the cats almost 2 years ago now, I think, before the winter of 17. And that was to give me peace of mind that they were safe, because they pile up over there and I can always find them. They're either there or the garage pretty much. And it's worked a charm. He says if he'd known I was going to show it in every single video that day forward, he probably would have painted it and spruced it up. But at this point, I can't afford to let the cats be dislodged from it long enough to do that. So Don and I have been doing some reading, and what we've decided to do is to try powering down Ruby all the way and then powering her back up. And we're going to leave the door open, and I've also rolled the window down, so just in case we can hit the, you know, reach in and unlock the door. Yeah, we're going to do this, and I'm not going to sit on the seat, so I'm going to reach in and find where this is. Don would have come out and done it, but I wanted to film it, and there's no reason why I can't. You know. Trying to figure out where it is, though. I don't remember. You know, they moved it around. I don't think it's under safety, and there it is. Power off. Alright, let me not be leaning on the seat and press this button. We just don't want it to think there's a driver. Power off. Are you sure you want to power it off? Place foot on the brake to power back on. This is the first time we've done this. Actually, it's possible when we had this weird issue right after we got the car that we powered it off sometime, but we certainly haven't done it in the last year or two. So I'm going to walk away and let her sit for a little bit, and then I'm going to come back out, get in the car, and put my foot on the brake. She's dark. I have to say that, you know, before you call roadside assistance, or, you know, it probably doesn't hurt to try just a few things, and this would be the most we've tried. So it's been a full 30 minutes since I powered Ruby down. We just wanted to wait long enough to make sure that if somebody asked us how long we waited, they weren't going to tell us it wasn't long enough and we needed to do it again. Key fob is still at the back of the garage, so the key fob should be recognized by the car. Well, I got in and she's off, but she lit up. Well, let's put my foot on the brake.
I don't know that.
Yeah, I bet you don't. She's not powering up because she's prompted me for the pin to drive, which I am supplying. Please wait while the systems power up. I mean, I guess I expect to see that message in this case. I'm just with Teslafy and stuff not used to seeing it on a more regular basis. I'm going to take my foot off the brake now. You saw the brake lights go off there. You probably heard the noise. She appears to be on the garage Wi-Fi. You know, these web page screens, they don't go away typically. I'm going to bring the window up. I guess since I left the window down and the door open, I'm really sort of questioning if she really powered down since I didn't stay out here and listen. But let's go over to the streaming music. And I'm just going to touch a different channel and see what happens. And since it didn't immediately switch to the other channel, I'm going to say that yeah, I kind of don't really think she powered down. I don't know. Maybe she did. Yeah, I can hear, and it's a very faint noise. The speaker's going on and off in the background, even though I don't have any noise. Well, it didn't say you had to be out of the car, so I've got the door shut, I've got the window on. I'm going to try it one more time. Wasn't it under safety and security? Yeah, it is. And I'm going to do it again, and I'm just going to wait a few minutes this time. Yeah, I really want you to power off. And this time I'm going to stay in the car, and we'll see if we hear any noise. Because I just didn't see her coming back up that quick. Just me sitting in the seat. I expected her to stay dark until I put my foot on the brake pedal, so I don't know. Well, that was a little noise there. She just got much quieter. We're at 2 minutes and 30 seconds in. Alright, we're at the 3-minute mark now. She's really totally quiet and stayed dark the entire time. So let me put my foot on the brake. And this time she's taking a while to come back up. So I really don't think when I walked away with the door open before that she went through the whole process. I could be wrong though. I'm going to put my foot back on the brake. I just hear the speaker cycling. How about if I open the door? Okay, well, I guess that's expected. I mean, I've actually had that happen a time or two over the past. So it says, please wait while vehicle systems power back up, but that message pops up so fast and then goes away that it may not be on the video. I'm going to enter in the pin to drive again. The systems are powering back up. Popped up briefly again, and I think I missed it again when I put in the pin. She appears to be up. She appears to be on the garage Wi-Fi. Wizards in Winter Trans-Siberian Orchestra off of the Christmas hit list. I turned up the volume and it stopped. Yeah, so the problem I was having is not gone. It's just not. That's what it was doing. Speakers on and off. Going away from the song it's supposed to be playing and then coming back. Sometimes popping up a loading error. Sometimes sounding like the needle on a record player was stuck in a spot for a second. These are all of the things I was already witnessing. So it'll play for like maybe 5 seconds and then go away again. Yep, you can see that's what it did. So it's trying the power off didn't do anything for us. And you can see clearly now the behavior that I was sort of describing. And just to see what I was saying about the turn signal. So when the speakers cut in and out, the turn signal noise goes away. So you can clearly see the turn signals flashing on both the driver dash and over here on the wall. You can see the light, yet the sound goes away. So problem is not fixed. I think Don is going to see if he can remove the 12-volt battery cable and then put it back on and see if that will help. I think we have to power down the car while he does that. We'll see. We want to go ahead and try to do that too. But I've, other than doing that, as the owner, we've, tried everything we would know to try. Well, we opened the frunk and Don's taking a look to see if he can even easily see the battery cable on the 12 volt.
Well, the short answer is, yeah, you're going to...
you have to take the frunk out?
Well, it's possible you can just take this fuse off, but there are, I don't know if there's, without looking to see, this is like the main 250 amp fuse there. Yeah, the battery cable is way down there. I mean, it's 6 inches below in this gap.
Let's see.
Sure. So you can see that red thing down there.
Yeah, I do see the red thing down there.
Yeah, so, I mean, if you take this liner out, which I'm sure it's not that bad.
Yeah.
Well, let's...
Deep breath. It was easier to get to on the 3, right? When we looked at Sapphire, when you take off this top cover, the battery was like right there.
Yeah. Well, it was a little... It was easier to pull the battery out. But to get to the top
of the battery was closer to the top of the frunk area.
Right.
Yeah.
So normally you would take the negative battery cable off. and then take the positive off. That's so that if you short the positive to metal while you're removing the positive, if the negative is still connected, then of course that causes a short. If you disconnect the negative and you short to metal, it's already ground. In other words, you're shorting to ground, so it's nothing. So when you take the negative battery cable off, now there's no current path. So if you do accidentally touch the positive while you're removing it to metal, the metal is not connected to the negative side of the battery anymore because the negative battery cable's off, and therefore you won't short. So you normally always take your negative off first. But what I was trying to say is, I get my head here and I can look. There's a pretty heavy battery cable. What you would expect. Battery cable goes from the positive terminal up to right here, this bolt right here, which is technically something I could get to without taking anything loose. I don't know. I'm just tempted
now to just go make a mobile service appointment and try to see if the guy, the tech that doesn't live too far away, and get on his schedule. And
yeah, that's probably,
since she's drivable.
Right. Yeah.
Be one thing if we were on a trip somewhere and we were having issues. I don't know, but
yeah. Well, we're gonna take her to Greensboro tomorrow.
Yeah.
So we'll have to think.
It will be quite annoying having no
internet.
Yeah. No sound.
Right. Well, Marianne's gonna take her out today, and we'll see if she TeslaFi gets the drive information.
Because that's not being posted either. It's like the car's not really talking out of itself properly.
If it wasn't the blinker issue, in other words, she turns on the turn signal and there's no sound.
On and off.
On and off. Sometimes there is some.
And proximity alerts.
Right. If it was just the sound, the audio streaming cutting off and the TeslaFi data not missing, then I would say, oh well, we have obviously an LTE, a cell phone issue, because it can't communicate to download the streaming data, and it can't communicate to send the data back to Tesla. So it's just a quote unquote LTE issue. But the other symptoms that's beyond what I would expect an LTE issue. But
plus it occurs when she says she's on Wi-Fi.
Right.
And that Wi-Fi hookup is not for the faint of heart. I mean, she's, as far as being hooked up to garage. So if she says she's fully hooked up to the garage, I think she is.
Yeah.
I did get a web browser page to draw.
Right. Sure. Well, that's, yeah. All right. So I guess at this point we're just going to chill and, keep.
Because to be clear, Don did disconnect on Sapphire a time or two when we were having our trouble with the Model 3.
Right.
But like he said, that battery is very accessible from just taking off the easy to take off cover. And yeah. I'm headed to town to go to Guardian Angel and do my pogo thing. It's about 3 o'clock in the afternoon, and I'll get home and get busy on getting us something to eat for dinner, especially since Don and I are, just eating the one meal. I guess, I'm just feeling a little down because I was so super excited to get my car back, and then all I've done since I got her back, about 15 minutes after I got her back, was worry about why she's not doing what she's supposed to be doing, which started out as let's just reboot the car, I'm sure that'll fix it, to pulling over and putting my foot on the brake and rebooting again and that not fixing her, to wow, I can't really seem to sort out this problem with a reboot. So it kind of, it went from normal operating procedure, just reboot the middle console, no big deal, just do that while I drive down the turnpike, to a little more intense stuff. So at this point, I've opened up a service request for mobile service. That is on Wednesday, January 29th. They had one on the 28th, but that doesn't work good for me. Plus, I'm really hoping that someone will be back in touch from the email that I sent to Raleigh Service. Such that I've sent out. So I'm hoping we won't, really have to wait that long, but if we do, she's drivable. I just have to be more careful with the turn signal and the garage door, since I may not be hearing all of the assistance from the car that I'm supposed to be. So I'm going to try to put it behind me for a couple hours. Kind of hard though while I'm out driving around in Ruby and I can't even listen to anything through the car. I guess maybe I'll put something on my phone, but I'm probably just going to be here in silence driving around town. That's a little, it's a little sad. It's not my normal rest and relaxation. I told Dawn the reason why I like to drive around in the car so much is because the seat's really comfortable and warmed if I want it. There's no smells. There's no noise unless it's noise I want it to be. And oh, the noise that I want is really good noise. I mean, you know, if it had a refrigerator in it for cold water or a cold water faucet, you know, I could stay in here forever pretty much. So anyway, I'm going to go try to forget about it and have a good time for a little bit. And I'm on hill hold here on the driveway, but I can see that Ruby says she's, you know, in drive, that she's driving. So, I'll check Teslafy when I get back inside, but as far as the Tesla app is concerned, it appears to know that she's not parked anymore. All these cars over here at South Park today are for indoor basketball. The town's recreation leagues, little kids. Well, Vicious Fishes Brewery has a pre-facelift black Model S parked out front. I hear that's a really good place to eat. Well, Ruby's in her spot here at Guardian Angel. There's was a Model 3 parked over by the Rescued Wood place when I first pulled up. It's about 50 out there right now. How cute. It says on it, vintage elephant toy box or world's biggest cookie jar. It's so cute. There's a couple new Valentine's Day things out today, but not much. Still that one single red goblet. The new clothes are packed in from year-end donations, but I didn't see anything. I'm not gonna buy it, but I think this sums up my week. Just roll with it. Oh wow, there's new Longaberger. Plastic liner, no holes, only $8. That's fantastic. 2 matching Longaberger baskets, a kitty cat soap dish, a couple placemats, and a Valentine's hand towel. Well, I had a really good time in there, but unfortunately there's a little light rain now. Ruby's getting wet. Hello? No mail?
No.
How come we have no mail?
Well, my girl, she's well, we've let up on our Amazon orders, so we don't get mail
As much.
Yeah, as much.
Well, we're not going to get mail Monday either because it's a holiday. I don't know if I can go that many days without mail.
Well, he could be running a little late, but I don't think so. Saturday,
yeah,
they kind of get on the stick.
And I probably did order something from Amazon, but you know, it could come tomorrow.
That's right.
Yeah. All right. You going to be up to the house for some guacamole?
Yeah, by the time you get it ready, I'll be there.
All right.